My name is Mike Franklin, and I'm a Vice President with Lionsgate Risk Management Group. Lionsgate is a diverse group of security professionals who are coming at security risk from differing perspectives and applying different disciplines. Security services, circa 2022, require a multidisciplinary meld of skilled operators. And that is the foundation I'm using as a springboard into this short insight presentation into security solutions for Canada Gas and LNG. Although Canada oriented, be mindful that many of these points are transferable across borders, even if the local risk context and backdrop is different. The integrity of energy infrastructures and their reliable operation remain key factors in ensuring the supply in energy vital for the well-being of the citizens and the functioning of the economy. Even with the commitment to clean energy, there remains an extended transition period and a continuing demand and necessity for Canada Gas and LNG, and therefore a necessary market for both during that transition period. In terms of emissions from power plant sources, natural gas is a cleaner fossil fuel. Security integrity becomes a critical facet through transition. Protest and activism is metamorphosing from passive to more aggressive. It's also becoming more coordinated and sophisticated. It is now to be an expected presence at energy events and will quite likely be present at this conference. Assessing the scale of protest and activism and the gravity of threat requires skilled open source and closed source analysis and real-time monitoring. The more sophisticated use of the internet to drive agenda and recruit more and more activists is clear, with significant increase in internet recruiting of activists during crisis events. Our real-world experience right now is a series of compounding events that will simply fan the flames of protest and activism. The industry needs to be well informed and to be able to respond appropriately to limit disruptions to operations. There are evident additional risks where there is geopolitical instability and an increase generally in the frequency and severity of cyber attacks, including the targeting of energy critical infrastructure. Predominating in Europe at this time, a spread to North America should be expected. There is a critical need for public and private partners to align and business and digitally enable, embedding cyber resilience in the business culture and operations, and taking a systemic approach to risk management. Community consultation is a critical component from project initiation through to project operation, from new construction projects to site redesignation projects. Timely and appropriate community engagement is vital, and a recognition that all community groups have a say. Some larger concerns will project loudly and smaller concerns less so, but all have a voice. It's not the size of the voice that matters, but the gravity of what is being said and how well the industry listens. The success of energy projects, particularly those that may be contentious in some quarters, relies upon transparency in communications and inclusivity. Finally, on this issue, your communications need to be through a single expert communications professional, a conduit to ensure consistency and continuity in messaging. These 7 risk pitfalls, which I'm going to cover shortly, are commonplace in energy sector circles and speak for themselves. Risks are rarely present in isolation and are too often treated as such and under a single lens. The impact of 2 compounding risks can have a more significant damage factor. In essence, 1 + 1 = 3. Add more risks into the mix and the compounding impact will grow. A probabilistic method or model is based on the theory of probability, or the fact that randomness plays a role in predicting future events. The opposite is deterministic. It tells us something can be predicted exactly without the added complication of randomness. To over-delve into probabilistic modelling can be counterproductive. Silos occur when barriers exist, preventing the interdepartmental sharing of knowledge, information and cooperation. The lack of information flow results in departmental isolation and territorialism, which often costs more to sustain and reduces the enterprise-wide impact. This is where you will locate conflicting policies and procedures, some increasing the risk to security integrity. I spoke earlier about hearing the smallest voices and basing judgment on the substance of the communication, not the originator. If your frontline operative on the ground strongly asserts there is an issue and offers a solution, then listen on both counts. Excuse me. Risk management practitioners encounter preferred risk approach challenges within most organisations where budgets are tightly managed. Often finance is allocated in shorter term timeframes and multiple competing priorities are tabled by departments. Security activity needs to be programmed with short through intermediate to longer term sustainable solutions. Risk management means too many different things out there in the wider world. Not properly understood, it can get lost in tokenism or misdirected solutions. Compliant measures must not be the only goal in applying security, because it will lead to coming up short on assessments and security design solutions. Returns on security investment come where performance is the primary goal and compliance forms part of that ambition. The natural gas and LNG industry should be trusting competent open and dark source intelligence analysts with the ability to properly interpret risk. There are inherent dangers of social media monitoring from the side of the desk. High quality analysed intelligence products are game changers for strategic decision making, and where business and investigative intelligence analysts excuse me, familiar with adversaries and their capabilities and separating bark from bite, are inserting themselves into online media, skillfully interpreting their findings and closely and accurately projecting impacts based on extensive experience and no little exposure, as is the case with Lionsgate. Proactive forward planning to manage security events, incidents and emergencies needs to be likely scenario based and well informed. Again, intelligence led and risk proportional. What can go wrong? What are the hazards and consequences? Who are my adversaries? What are their capabilities? Why are they targeting our organisation? How would they target my organisation? Where can they get the best bang for their buck to disrupt my operations and damage my brand? Cognizant of all this, what do I need to have in place to deter, detect, delay, or deny them, and respond effectively? Whether it's a community consultation event, a pivotal project juncture, compromise to physical or cyber protection, or a natural or human-caused emergency, preemptive and proportional security resourcing is required, balancing technology and touch. A response plan within a security program. For events, a thorough concept of operations assessment, which provides a real-time and risk-proportionate foundation for responding to security incidents. Finding security integrity in a convergent age is far more complex and sophisticated than it has ever been. The diverse skill sets needed to manage security risk and proactively deflect threats and adversaries will inevitably require the engagement of a specialist third party or parties. If the required skills can be sourced in a single security provider, then security, proportionality, integration, communication, resource management and balance is far easier to achieve. Performance-based security systems requirements aligned with risk-based performance requirements. There is no jack-of-all-trades security professional. The skill sets to develop a front-to-back solution are specialized and require the assembly of a diverse team, a team you can access as needed to support your security management program. You are highly unlikely to be able to justify budget and assemble such a team in-house. The glue that binds all we do is our defined and dovetailed policies, protocols, procedures and processes, which in combination determine what we want done, how we want it done, and who we want to do it. It is essentially the instruction manual for our security protection, delivering in a coherent, complementary manner. As part of governance, the 5 Ps iron out potential conflicts in approach, so often encountered with differing departmental agenda. The energy sector, as you know, is heavily regulated, and security needs to be ingrained into governance and part of doing business. Pertinent to this sector, the Canadian Energy Regulator, the Canadian Energy Regulator Act, Onshore Pipeline Regulations Section 4, Canadian Standards 276.18 for LNG and Canadian Standards 246.1.17 for natural gas and LNG. You have the Transport Canada Marine Transport Security Regulations and the requirement for a marine facility security plan for shoreline operations. Excuse me. Meeting the regulatory compliance standards is just part of delivering a level of security performance that can achieve a return on security investment and requiring enhanced and risk-focused measures that surpass the regulatory threshold. Through the slides to this point, we have referenced connections between each topic addressed. They're all interlinked and interdependent. It doesn't take too much of a leap to connect the dots here. The reason for the inclusion of this nexus diagram is to emphasize the need to avoid cherry-picking security solutions from this menu. The success of your security program depends on dovetailing these and other considerations. The final area I'm going to address starting now is the security management program. In the case of energy infrastructure, the goal of security is to take prevention, mitigation, and response measures in order to ensure the integrity of the assets, the reliable supply of energy, the health of the workers, the health of the public, and respect for the environment. This is achieved with a security management program. At Lionsgate, we have an energy sector specific security management program methodology, a comprehensive program of 4 phases. It is PRISM, a performance and risk-based integrated security methodology drawn from approach and practice in Europe. Phase A, strategy and planning, tells you why a security risk management program is important, how it will be written, and for what audience and how it will be updated and kept current. The program Phase A introduces several business management concepts, BMCs, that will help natural gas and LNG organizations position their security management program within their environment to ensure its successful implementation. By implementing these BMCs beforehand, the process of raising awareness and securing buy-in to the security management program at the right time is easy. It will happen as and when you, as the party responsible for security, need it. The security management program will have visibility and acceptance within your organization and have a greater chance of implementation. Phase B, risk assessment, tells the natural gas and LNG industry how to assess the nature and extent of security risk to identify critical assets within a site, what mitigation strategies are required and why. It will be evident that the risk assessment process is quite detailed and will in most cases take a reasonable amount of time to conduct. However, once completed, this will provide a thorough understanding of risks facing your organisation and an excellent basis upon which to formulate the remainder of the security management programme. It will also provide a key tool for ongoing risk management activity in the form of a risk register, which can be updated on a regular basis to ensure that your natural gas or LNG organisation is always in control of the risks facing its assets. Phase C, security design, tells natural gas or LNG industry how mitigation strategies can be developed to achieve security-specific outcomes that meet protection objectives and cost constraints. Infrastructure security design is a very complex area, and despite any person being able to obtain a broad overview of the subject matter, it's likely that the level of technical expertise necessary to design your integrated security solution will only be available from external specialists in this field. It's important to ensure that where necessary, external support is made available to the project team, and this is because the potential for cost overrun associated with a poorly designed project far outweighs the small initial cost of independent design consultancy. If you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait till you hire an amateur. By connecting to external specialists, you will gain access to a sequential process that allows you to design and specify the most important aspects of a robust risk mitigation solution, those that relate to its performance. Subsequently, this will form the basis for engagement with your external providers in a controlled manner, providing reassurance to stakeholders that business risks will be mitigated in a cost-effective manner. Phase D, implementation and review, tells natural gas and LNG industry how to ensure the agreed design is implemented on time and budget, tested for effectiveness, and then monitored. This phase D of the formation of a security management program completes the development cycle towards the management of risk for your organization in a cost-effective, quality-assured manner. Future program-related activities are then ensuring that the program is maintained and sustained. The whole risk management program and process from implementation forward must be open to an audit process that ensures that A, the program and process has been implemented as well as it should be, and B, remains current and reflective of the dynamic environment it seeks to operate within. I'd like to thank you for listening to this insight presentation today. A short period of time to land a lot of points. My name is Mike Franklin, and I'm part of the team delivering security solutions to the energy sector. On the slide you see here, Patrick Doyle, our CEO, and Doug Maynard, President and COO of Lionsgate. Finally, just food for thought. To help you sleep at night, surely quality security solutions that you can trust has to be the way forward. Thank you.